Okay, hello and welcome to the September 23rd, 2013 regularly scheduled school committee meeting. It's 7 p.m. We'll call the meeting to order. The meeting is being both audio and videotaped by both the school department and by East Long Meadow Cable Access Television. I would ask everyone to please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, based on our agenda, if it's the committee's desire, I'd like to move up 7 to after 3, if that's okay with folks, since we do have a guest tonight. And if so, if I could have a motion to that effect.
I move that we move 7 prior to, right after committee and subcommittee communications.
Okay, very good. Motion made.
Second.
And seconded by Mr. Fitzgerald. Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Thank you. 5-0. We have, let's do a roll call, actually, to my left.
Hi, Elizabeth
Please.
Marcin Boucher.
Rich Fitzgerald.
Deirdre Mayu.
Gregory Thompson.
Gordon Smith, Superintendent of Schools.
Bill Fonseca.
Terry Olajares, Assistant Superintendent for Business.
Kathy Saletti, Recording Secretary.
Okay. And we have some minutes for approval. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve the minutes of April 19th, 2013, regular session.
Motion made
I'll second.
and seconded by Mr. Fonseca. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion carries 5-0. Next up.
Move to approve the September 9th, 2013 regular session minutes.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion carries 5-0. And finally, executive session.
I'll make a motion to approve the September 9th executive session minutes.
Motion made
A second.
and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, no. Motion carries 5-0. Committee and subcommittee communications, Mrs. Marzine Belcher.
Just want to say, the EV Fund for Education was this weekend, and they had a nice turnout, and I appreciate everybody who took the time. I'm sure they all had a nice morning. It was a beautiful day when all was said and done. Also, we met Deirdre and I for the emergency subcommittee, just to make sure, overview our policies as far as the schools are concerned in case of an emergency. So just a couple things that we're going to look into, and everything looks pretty good.
Very good. Mr. Fitzgerald.
Somewhat of an athletic theme. Mr. Fonseca and I met with the athletic subcommittee just to make sure that we're monitoring our budget as closely as possible. And we both attended the football game. The band was excellent.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah,
They really put on a
Very good.
great show.
Very good performance.
And I saw a couple of other games also, so we're off to a good season, a good start.
Very good. Thank you, sir. Mrs. Mayu.
I do not have anything to share at the
Thank
moment.
you. Mr. Fonseca.
I'll just echo Mr. Fitzgerald's comments because it seemed like we were all at the same events. And it is, I agree,
Good.
we're off to a good start.
You're in good company.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, moving right along, we'll move to item number 7, opportunity for visitors to address the committee. You can just give us your name for the record and
Kate Chung. I am a new parent to the school system. I was in kindergarten. I have two other columns. I have 3 kids that will eventually be in their schools. And I have a concern about the buses. Some of the buses have, are you familiar with the crossing arms? They are in front of the bus and they open. So when the child gets off the bus, they have to go around the arms rather than right in front where the driver can't see them. So I noticed the first day that the bus did not have that. And my child got off the bus and crossed right in front of the bus. And, the driver was actually looked at in the mirror, because I guess some kids probably in the back were doing something that they shouldn't have been doing. So that's what started me thinking that, that's not very good. The second day, I took my child and I trained him to walk much in front of the bus. And I guess the bus drivers are trained also to have a system where they have to give a thumbs up and to have the child before they can cross in front. But, it's driver is a person, they've had a bad day, they're tired, they're exhausted, things can happen. And any child will forget to do that one day. So I'm just concerned, I understand that some of the buses do have these arms already, and I'm wondering why. I talked with, her name fails me right now.
Tracy Gamble?
Yes, thank you. About it, and she didn't really give me an answer as to why some had some and others didn't. I asked, were some buses purchased more recently? No, they weren't.
Well-
Some of the older ones have them versus.
Right.
So anyways, there wasn't any rhyme or reason it seemed, and I was just wondering if that can be rectified, if you're, you know why there might be some have them, some don't, or if it can be, the ones that don't have them can have them installed. She said they could be installed on the older ones, or the ones that don't have them, it just might involve replacing the bumper to accommodate the arm, and other things too, but, yeah.
Terry, do you know when we bought the buses specifically, that they're, basically we buy them as part of a bid package with the
Right, it was through the
LPVC?
collaborative, right.
And so it's basically the bus package that they bid and we buy with them. And so, correct me if I'm wrong, different manufacturers of the buses have different specifications, including the arm. Some have them and some do not. Do you know
Right.
anything else
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah, and I don't know if the arm is specific to a manufacturer. My guess is it's something you just have to spec, that they probably all do them now. Now, maybe at one time, one manufacturer started it before the other one, so I don't know. We do have a variety of buses at different levels that we've purchased over, well, we haven't purchased many lately.
Yeah.
Right.
Six
They
or
were-
so batches, yeah.
Right,
Right.
right, so they were bought in piecemeal, and so many of the buses have different features.
Yeah. And the other thing that, maybe we want to look into is perhaps if there's research available on the effectiveness of the arm. It sounds very practical and it makes sense.
Yeah, I did a little bit of research, which I didn't bring in my very life. But it does decrease it by about 73% of the accidents that were happening, it decreased to 73% once the arms were installed. Granted, how many buses are there traveling around the country? There was 20 accidents. Granted, that's
Yeah.
still 20 accidents out of the millions and millions of times that kids are getting off the bus, but 20 accidents is 20 accidents, something around that number.
Okay.
And with the arm there, it was decreased by 73%. So I understand that the possibility of something happening is infinitesimal, but, I'm gonna be having little kids cross the street in front of the bus for the next 10,000 days, who knows? And sometimes I leave them, I have a babysitter watch them get off the bus, so, it's just something that I'm concerned about.
Okay.
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 Well
I-
said.
Yeah, and I think perhaps we can, Terry, maybe find out what the possibilities are, and I guess in general, for the current buses that we have, perhaps going forward, we could have discussions about the possibility of speccing that specifically. So I guess that's probably what we can look to do, yeah.
Okay.
Okay? And then we can check in again, is that,
Yeah, what do?
okay?
If you would like to send me any information you have,
Okay.
what I can do is to keep you updated. What I'm just writing in my own notes is that we have two mechanics that are at the LPVC bus depot, and so maybe they have some information as to what the cost may be to retrofit our current fleet, and it may involve, removing a bumper and putting a different
Yeah.
bumper on, that kind of thing. So we can try to get that cost. We also probably should identify who the manufacturers of these type of arms, if it's one, okay, if it's more than one, so that we can get an idea of what costs may be.
And just another note, in talking to Ms. Gamble about it, she said they're not required in the state, which is, they're not required, but nothing's ever required until an accident happens. And in the state of Minnesota, they are required because of what was killed. So, I'd like to,
Be proactive.
yeah,
Yeah.
before.
Okay. So you'll contact Mr. Smith with some of the research perhaps that you have as well, and then from there we can,
We'll try to add to the research and keep you updated as to where we are.
Okay,
okay.
sounds good.
Thanks for coming tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, just a reminder, we have our October 10th public meeting for our facility study master
Master plan.
plan.
Yep.
Actually, Mrs. Mayu and I, and we probably could have mentioned this
Oh,
in
yeah, we
our
did.
subcommittee or committee communications, did a public service announcement. Thanks to Mr. Mackey, we actually sat out front of the high school on stools, like a morning talk show style.
Hysterical.
And discuss what we would be doing at the October 10th meeting, where we've gone with the process of the facilities study, and what's still to come. So with that, certainly if folks want to check out that PSA, it's on LCAT. I've seen it out there. And it looks pretty good. Well,
Hey, can we also get this notice in the reminder, and we have LCAT covered in the reminder?
Yep.
And are we gonna notify, could something go home maybe with the schools?
I can do a Connect Ed if you
Yeah,
like,
good
idea.
Would be a
for
great
the whole
idea.
district. Yeah,
That's great.
Alright.
maybe, sooner
okay.
the better, I
It
think,
needs to be
to schedule
understood, it's
folks.
important for the parents to come, it's important for the community to come, and get a feel for what we're doing here, because we want them to be informed, and we want them to understand this process, because it's not an easy
Well,
process.
it's a long process. And
It
I
is.
think This is a start. This is the first step.
Yeah.
And did you contact Carolyn Brennan over at Council of Aging to put something there?
She,
so that we
she
reach out
knows
beyond
about,
school?
actually both meetings, so I will
Yeah.
remind her.
And just as clarification, it's a meeting that we're gonna have the architectural firm that we've hired, we'll all be there as school committee members, and we'll just kinda have some open dialogue about the data that we've had revealed to this point, and some options going forward. And as folks have said, it's a time for community members, anyone either with kids in the school district or not in the district, or without kids in school at all, to come and feel free to give their input. And I think are we gonna do the tour after the? Guided
That,
tour?
we've left that open.
Okay, we had talked about a guided tour of the high school, not, there's probably a good chance that many folks haven't been in the high school recently, so it might be an opportunity to walk, just, briefly through the building, guided tour, to show folks the building. So again, that's October 10th, that's here at the high school and in the cafeteria at 6:30 PM, and that's open to anyone from East Long Meadow. Okay? Great. Policy, more policy, section L, second reading.
Actually, the final section for review, and if approved tonight, we'll be putting the finishing touches on the online policy manual.
Wow.
It'll be a series of steps with Nanette Olson from the MASC. What I'll start doing with her is just going through each section and make sure that we've caught all the different changes. As similar to tonight where we revised a sentence or two, I want to make sure she has the most current version. So once we've done that, we may be able to invite Pat Carrera from the MASC, who's been helping us with this project all the way through, and hopefully the week that we look to launch our online manual.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is section L. The index is on the front with the different policies that have had any revisions implemented. And LDA was one where not only do we break it into policy and regulation or procedure, but we also added the bold type line in the policy section where it says the school committee recognizes that relationships and arrangements have been developed. Everybody see that?
Yep.
That was the one change between this meeting and our last meeting.
Okay.
I move that we accept policy section L on a second reading.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you all. Thank you to the policy subcommittee
Yes,
for
excellent work.
getting us through all
We're
that.
gonna miss them.
I know.
There's no hammers or ends or anything?
Doesn't it just
Something.
cycle back over again, then you
Yeah,
go
why
back?
don't we start again? Look at the-
We get started again.
Are we hearing one more time here?
Yeah. There's probably policies we started with that we probably
Yeah.
already have to
Yeah.
retweet,
Yeah,
so.
that's,
Oh, yeah.
But
I
trust me, it'll get a
wouldn't-
lot easier.
I wouldn't disband the subcommittee just
No,
yet.
I wouldn't either.
there may be some that need to come up for a little revision again.
That's all right.
Nice. Okay, moving right along, we have the need for a representative of the school committee for negotiations with the paraprofessionals.
This year, our paraprofessional contract will be, it's in its final year, so at the end of the year, it will come to an end. And we're looking to get a head start. I think we started with them last time in January, and they asked if we could even start late fall if possible.
Oh.
So what we've been doing the last few negotiations is having one school committee member be there as an advisor and representative.
Okay. Did
I
you do
did
it last
it
time?
last time. I'd be happy to do it again unless somebody else wants to.
I'm more than happy to back up Beth if she can't make
I've
it.
got, you know, if
You-
there's
Have you
anything.
done a negotiation?
I have done a negotiation.
The bus driver,
Yeah, that's what it was, yeah.
I did secretaries.
If you guys are okay, I'm fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay?
I move that Ms. Elizabeth Marcian Boucher be our school committee rep for negotiation with the paraprofessionals.
Excellent.
I'll
Motion
second
made
it.
and seconded. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. 5-0.
Good. They're a good group.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a request from the robotics competition team. They're looking to go to multiple trips, several of them out of state.
Yes, actually, most of them out of state, even though some are just down the road in Connecticut. Many of the trips are one-day trips on a Saturday, I believe, until you get to the VEX World Championship, and then that would be some travel out to the West Coast.
Yep.
And actually, our robotics team has grown, as you see in the letter, to 28 students. And they are this year partnering with the Children at Play group that runs our before and after school programming at Maple Shade and Meadowbrook. And the Children at Play group is now offering, I believe, 3 separate robotics courses. And our robotics team will help volunteer during those courses for students in the after-school time frame. And what Children at Play will do is, I think they will get the numbers. If they get a decent enrollment so they can run it, they will buy the materials and the curriculum for the after-school program.
Wow.
And then our robotics team will help the instructor facilitate the after-school program. And I believe Children at Play may even donate to the robotics team, which would help these trips.
Well, works for everybody. That's great.
Mhm.
And a very successful team, certainly in the past. And I you know, in speaking with multiple students that are part of the team, they love it.
They
So
do
it's
love
it.
fantastic.
Yeah.
So with that,
And
I
actually,
would-
Mr. Van Buren's very enthusiastic.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Thompson, I have a reservation in approving the last one with just this one line, the 23-26 April to Anaheim, California. I think we need to know the itinerary. We have to know a lot more than just that one line. You know, for that type of trip, I think we need to know, as I said, the itinerary, the cost, chaperones. So I would recommend approving the October 5th through January 11th, and then having a more communication on that last trip. That's just my feeling. I don't know how anybody else
That
feels.
makes sense.
Did they do that trip last year?
They Texas, I think.
They
last
went, yeah, I believe it
Oh,
was in
okay. I
Texas.
thought it was
It seems to
year.
be.
But we had a whole write-up.
Yeah.
We did, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's
Okay, I'll
certainly
take that
reasonable, I think, to
recommendation, yeah.
Yeah.
ask for
Appreciate it.
further clarification on that.
Yeah.
So with that,
Plenty of
then
time.
All right.
I would entertain a motion to approve the robotics trips listed in the letter from September 18th, 2013 to me, from October 5th to January 11th, and ask for additional information regarding the California field trip for approval of that one.
So-
moved.
Go ahead. All right, I'll second.
Yeah.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion?
Just one thought, I don't see anything from the principal here, the high school principal. Is it not required?
No, Mrs. Flanagan did forward this as an attachment to her email. So she has approved the trip.
Okay.
Okay. Very good. Motion has been made and seconded. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion carries 5-0. And the approval of a study grant.
Yes, this is a study grant for our forensics science course, which actually has become incredibly popular. And we have one science teacher who has more or less specialized in it. I think it's the only science teacher right now who's teaching this. And I believe when the course was originally created, Ms. Weiland was the science teacher who wrote the grant to bring this course into
did.
being. And so what she's asking for here is over the course of the next 2 school years, this being the first year and next year being the second year, is to take 2 courses which will help her keep the curriculum as current as possible and will obviously expand her knowledge so that she can do a better job setting up the lab experience and the course in general. So I believe over the 2 years, it would be roughly $1,500 a year to allow her to take this course and finish off this study grant.
Okay. And Terry, where do funds like that come from? Do we have a,
They're coming out of the high school professional development.
okay.
If I can follow, Mr. Thompson?
please.
The first sentence, Ms. Olajas, concerns me. It's over 2 school years. We can only approve for 1 school year with this budget, correct?
Well, we can only pay for 1 school year, 1.
So she would have to
year out of the
resubmit this
budget.
for the second year. I mean, correct?
She should resubmit it again.
I mean, she can
for
submit the
approval.
same thing.
Yeah,
I'm
right,
just saying that
right.
for financially, you only can approve 1.
Right.
Correct.
Which is
This current
actually one of the
budget.
reasons why it was originally sent back. Is,
Right.
we needed clarification on when and how she was gonna do this.
Well, is it 1 fiscal year, Terry, or though, could we do them both in the same fiscal year?
She's actually gonna take it,
Over
in
2?
Over
Yeah,
2.
2 fiscal years.
2 fiscal years.
So she takes 1 course this year,
And 1 course
another
next
course
year.
next year.
Okay,
Right.
so can we approve the whole package with the caveat that it would be paid
Right.
over 2 fiscal
I
years?
mean, I think you can approve it,
Yeah, paid over 2 fiscal
pay
years.
it over
Right.
2 fiscal years.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. I know it's a popular program. in the-
Oh, it is.
It's a very popular
Yeah.
program.
So with that, I would entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the study grant for forensic science for 2 online classes to be completed the next 2 school years and being paid over the next 2 fiscal years.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion carries 5-0. New record, maybe?
Wow,
Okay.
good job.
With that, we've completed our agenda, and I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion made
Second.
and seconded. All those in favor, any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion carries 5-0. Thanks so much.
Good job.
Thank you.